Hello, welcome. My name is Craig. I'm here to facilitate a Qigong practice for tonight. At the moment, the time is almost 6 p.m., Tuesday, November 2nd, but you might be catching this at another time. Welcome, whatever time you are joining and checking this practice out. Give it a little bit more of a breakdown. Let me just stand back from the camera. Here we go. If you're new, this is a Qigong practice. Qigong is an energy practice that originates from China. It's been practiced for thousands of years. But in this practice, we will engage in gentle movement, syncing the body with the breath, checking in with our awareness, our attention, bring it into the present moment, and taking an opportunity to engage in a self-care practice. Qigong allows us to connect, check in with our energy, to release stress, to ground in the present moment, to take care of ourselves. So you're welcome to try that out. The practice will begin in a couple of minutes. I'd like to give some people some time to come and join us, but as always, you're welcome to try this anytime. You can pause, take breaks. Even though I'll be doing this practice standing, you're welcome to do this practice seated, laying down, whatever feels comfortable for you. The key thing is trusting, listening, and being in touch with yourself. Qigong is a healing practice. It's not about strain or stressing anything. It's about releasing that stress and allowing yourself to stimulate and allow the healing within to show up, become stronger, become more present inside of you through these exercises. So we'll begin in a couple minutes, but I'll give a quick breakdown of what will happen for tonight's class. So as I mentioned before, it's a 60-minute class, but again, no one's required to do the entire 60 minutes. It's about what feels good for you. Here's how I like to do the classes. So for the first 5 to 10 minutes, just a way to ground, to prepare for the Qigong practice. The way we do that is called aligning the three treasures, where we align the body, the breath, and the mind. Aligning the body is checking in with our posture. Aligning the breath is just checking in how we're breathing, bring awareness to the breath. And lastly, aligning the mind, bring our attention to the present moment and what ways we can anchor and connect into the present moment. And then after that practice, for the next 20 minutes after that, we engage in the 5 introductory Valley Qigong movements. These are movements that have been done for, I want to say, the past 6, 7 years. Yeah, this is every Valley Qigong class begins with these movements. It's 4 flowing movements and shaking. And that takes us to about the middle of the class. And when we begin the second half of class, I'll engage in some stretching, some movements to just release energy. And for the rest of the class, engage in some gentle flowing movements that allow us to connect with the breath. These movements orient towards more of a moving meditation and mindfulness. And to complete the class, we'll engage in a 2-minute standing meditation. I like just a standing meditation called Hug, Embrace the Tree. Just keep that simple. And that is the class. As always, there's an opportunity to check in with yourself. Wear something comfortable and see if this is something that you connect with and like participating in and working with. So I'm going to start this class about 30 seconds. As always, welcome. If you have any questions for those who are catching this live, you can make comments. I'll try to get to those at least in certain points of the class. But we'll begin very soon. All right. Yeah, let's begin to jump into the practice. We are going to start off with aligning the 3 treasures. Again, body, breath, and mind. Just take a few minutes for aligning each treasure. And To begin, let's just take this opportunity to just check in with our surroundings, our environment, making sure you have enough space for yourself. You can extend your hands out. I'll move a little bit over, up and down, the front to the back. Noticing what feels good for you, noticing how those movements feel for you. And just take an opportunity to just check in with your space. And again, noticing if you need to move anything, have a water bottle close by. You want to be taking care of yourself in the practice. Maybe you want a pillow if you want to alternate between standing and sitting, or you're already in that position. Key thing is taking care of yourself. So let's move into aligning the body. So I'm gonna actually, for those who are standing, you can bring your feet together, noticing how that feels. Feet together, and noticing how the feet connect to the ground, noticing how you are connected to the ground, the earth in this moment, how that feels, what you sense. For those who are standing, you can shift your weight into the left foot, step out with the right. I'd like to mention that I am mirroring here, so even though it'll be my right, it'll be your left. Here we go. So with the feet planted, connected to the ground, shoulder width apart, hip width, noticing what feels good, having the weight equally distributed between both feet. How does that feel for you in this moment? And let's continue aligning the body. So let's check in with the knees. If you'd like, you can lock and gently unlock the knees. In Qigong, we don't keep any joints locked because we want the energy to be able to move freely through the body. So again, knees are soft. Let's check in with the pelvis. Noticing what feels comfortable. Recommendation is to have the pubic bone tilted up so the tailbone is tucked underneath the spine. Noticing how that feels, as if you're sitting on a tall stool. And let's check in with the chest. Chest is open. Let's check in with the arms. Arms is just hanging down by the sides. Palms can be faced towards the body. Fingers can be spread apart. Slight bend the elbows. And let's take an opportunity to release stress and tension in the neck, the shoulders, and the wrists. You can follow along for these exercises, or if you have any preferred methods or exercises to release tension in these areas, go ahead. This is your practice. But you can follow along. That feels good too. So I'm going to start off with the shoulders. I like doing shoulder rolls and shoulder shrugs. I'm going to do shoulder rolls for this class. So if you like, you can roll your shoulders forward 3 times. And when you roll them 3 times forward, reverse movement, roll back, being kind and gentle to yourself, or really whatever you need, whatever feels good. And let's bring our attention and awareness to the neck and the head. Just going to do a couple neck gestures to release tension there. So let's look over to the left, look over to the right, bring the head back to center. Let's look down, allow the chin to drop to the chest. And just gaze upward, look up. Bring the head back to center, eyes gazing forward. Let's take some time, just do some circles with the nose, neck rotations. So if you like, we'll drop the chin to the chest again and just make circles with the nose, going 2 circles in one direction. And 2 circles, reversing the movement in the other direction. When you're all set, bring your head over the spine, head over heart. Let's just take a quick opportunity, or just an opportunity to release tension in the wrists. So you bring your hands up, and actually, you can just rotate the hands. Let's do this 5 times, then go in the other direction. When you're all set, just allow the hands to just flow down. Let them hang. Let's finish aligning the body. Let's check back in with the head. And let's imagine there's a string coming down from the sky, from the ceiling, connects to the top of your head, pulls you upright. You're just hanging loose, soft. And let's just check in with the eyes. Notice the eyes. I'd like to have a soft gaze if that feels comfortable. Check in with the brow and the jaw. We tend to carry a lot of tension there. See if you can soften or even release that tension. Just bringing kind awareness to those areas. Bring awareness to the mouth. Mouth can be in the form of a smile or whatever feels good for you. Lastly, you can check in with the tongue. Tongue can be connected to the roof of the mouth. That connects energy pathways. Or otherwise, do what feels good. And now that we have aligned the body, let's move into aligning the breath. In this practice, we do what is called Daunting Breathing, also known as belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. But you're welcome to do any type of breathing that supports you in this practice, spontaneous breathing, natural breathing. But I'll demonstrate Daunting breathing, aka belly breathing. And I'll bring the left hand to the abdomen. So as you take in a breath, as you inhale, feel the lungs filled with air and the abdomen expands because you're just breathing deeply into the body. And as you exhale, lungs empty, abdomen softens. Do that one more time. Inhale, deep into the belly, lungs fill, navel moves away from the spine. Exhale, navel moves close to the spine, abdomen softens, lungs empty. You can do this type of breathing throughout the entire practice, or again, whatever feels good, just bring awareness, or just remembering to breathe throughout the practice. Breath is life. And lastly, let's take an opportunity to connect with the mind. And I'll use a gesture that my fellow teacher, Catherine Hanson, likes to use. We can bring up the left hand, and this can represent the past. Let's bring up the right hand. This can represent the future. And we can bring both hands into the middle by the heart, but the hands are not touching. Leave a little space in between. And that space is going to represent the present. So we can't necessarily change the past or the future, but we have our agency, our power, and our ability to heal in this present moment. So let's just take an opportunity to set an intention, to bring our intention to the present moment. If you find yourself ruminating, thinking, that's okay. That's what a brain does. See if you can come back to the present moment as you're participating and flowing in this class, coming back to your senses, to your energy, whatever connects you to the here and now. So let's move into the practice, to the introductory movements. We're going to allow hands to flow down. Let's start off with full body breathing. And we're going to inhale, the hands up towards the sky, ceiling. When the hands make it overhead, we're going to exhale, the hands down by the sides. Restart the movement, inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Noticing how that feels, going at your own pace. Modifying the movement so it supports you, your body. Let's do 2 more repetitions in this direction. And then we'll reverse the movement. So this will be the last repetition of me moving in this direction. Now I'll reverse the movement. I'll inhale the hands up by the sides and exhale the hands down from the body. So I'm going to begin that right now. Inhale the hands up by the sides. Exhale the hands down from the body. Noticing how that change, that transition feels. Inhale hands up. Exhale hands down. Let's do 3 more repetitions of this movement. I'm going to do 1 more repetition on my end. We'll transition to the next gesture. So we'll just allow the hands to just flow down, take a brief pause, noticing what you feel, how you feel. That gesture felt good. As always, as your practice, move towards what feels good. Stop if anything feels painful or there's acute strain. We're here to release stress, shift our state, come attuned to the present moment. So let's begin the next gesture. We're going to bring our hands in front of the dantian, the lower abdomen. Palms of the hands are going to face up towards the sky. Fingers are pointing towards each other with a little space in between, whatever feels comfortable for you. And we're going to begin it. Let's start flowing. We're going to inhale the hands up to heart height. When the hands make to the heart, flipping the hands over, palms face down, and exhale. Allow the hands to flow down. Restart the movement. Inhale, draw the hands up, palms facing towards the sky. Flip the hands over, exhale, palms face towards the ground, flow down. Syncing the body with the breath. Inhale, draw hands up, feel the lungs fill with air. Exhale, allow the hands flow down, lungs empty. Let's do 3 more repetitions of this movement. And then we'll transition to the heart opening movement. I'm going to do 1 more repetition on my end. And in order to transition to the heart opening movement, so we're just going to turn the palms up, inhale, draw the hands back up to the heart. But this time, we're just going to imagine we're holding a ball and we're going to allow our fingers to point up towards the sky. Palms are facing each other, connecting with the idea that you are holding a ball, seeing how that feels for you. What do you sense? How does that experience feel? What do you notice? Just being here, taking a brief pause before we transition to the next gesture. And now we're going to extend our hands out in front of the body, in front of the chest. Fingers going to point away from the body, forward. And we're going to begin the next gesture. So we're going to inhale, allow the hands to spread apart and draw out. You can gaze upward, feel the opening in the chest, and exhale, looking forward. Bring the hands back close together, but not letting them touch. Restarting the movement. Inhale, open up, gaze up, feel a stretch. Exhale, look forward. hands close together. And noticing where your awareness is, noticing where your attention is, just allowing this movement to flow. Hands can trail the arms as they're moving. And do 3 more repetitions on my end. Inhale, open the chest, gaze upwards, exhale. Look forward, bring the hands back towards the center. Noticing what feels good. And this will be the last repetition of this movement on my end. And we're just going to check in with that ball. Hands are facing forward, extended, slight bend in the elbows. And we're going to take an opportunity to play with that ball. So this involves just trusting your intuition and how you want to move that ball, how you want to express yourself playing with the ball. So however it shows up for you, just take a brief moment to just play. What do you sense? How would you like to move? What would feel good for you in this moment? You're connecting with the ball. Are you connecting with the energy in your hands? Or just connecting with the present moment and how you'd like to move and flow? Alright, so we're actually going to let this movement of play, intuitive movement come to an end. So let's bring our hands back to that starting position of the hands up, extended out in front of the chest, palms facing toward each other. What we're going to do is we're going to turn and have the palms of the hands facing towards the body, fingers pointing toward each other. We're going to inhale, draw in the energy, that movement towards ourselves. We're going to exhale, allow the hands to trace over the torso, down the body. We're going to transition to the next movement. So we're going to swivel the hands, so the palms are now facing up. And drawing the hands up to shoulder height. Flipping the hands over, exhale, allow the hands to flow down. And I'll give another angle of that. So we're just going to inhale the hands up to shoulder height. And exhale, allow the hands to flow down. And the hands can extend past the body. Noticing how that feels for you. Noticing what you sense, what you connect with. So this is flowing motion, and this has many variations. I'll go through a few of them. Just noticing how this movement feels for you, modifying it in any way, or just, taking a break, taking time for yourself. So the first variation we'll do is sinking and rising. So when you allow your hands to flow down, if it's available to you, just gentle sink, slight bend in the knees and hips while remaining upright. Then on the inhale, rise back up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, rise. Noticing how that feels. I'll do 2 more repetitions on my end. Then we'll switch to shifting the weight front and to the back of the feet. So this is my last repetition. Then I'll make that transition. So I'll just do 1 regular repetition. Just feet planted on the ground. No rising and sinking. And now we'll transition to the next variation. So on the inhale, as you bring the hands up, shifting the weight into the feet, to the front of the foot, while keeping the feet planted. On the exhale, shifting the weight into the heels. Feet are still planted. So you're shifting the weight front, shifting the weight to the back of the feet. As if you're giving yourself foot massage, shifting the pressure on the bottom of the feet. Noticing how that feels. If you want to make this a balance practice, next time you inhale, you can lift the heels off the ground. And on the exhale, allow the heels to drop and put the weight into the heels, lift the toes. So for the balance practice, rise up, exhale, sink, shift the weight into the heels, lift the toes. This is all optional. What feels comfortable and available in your body? I'll do 1 more repetition of the balance practice, or balance variation. Then we'll move into the variation of bringing the feet together and stepping them apart. Let's begin that. So on the inhale, bring the right foot to the left foot. On the exhale, right steps away from left. And we'll do the alternate. Inhale, left to right. Exhale, left steps away from right. And you can continue to alternate. And you can incorporate variations into this variation. So you step the feet apart, you can sink, if that's available to you. Inhale, rise. Sink, rise. If you want to make this a balance practice, when you bring the feet together, most of the weight can be mostly in 1 foot. Or if it's available to you, you can see how it feels to lift up 1 leg as you bring the feet together. Make that even more of a balanced practice. The key thing is what feels good, what works for you, what allows you to be present, allows you to be connected with yourself, your energy, to get the most out of this practice. Just do a couple more repetitions of this variation. And then we'll do 3 repetitions of just the standard regular repetition variation of just inhaling the hands up, keeping the feet planted on the ground. We just do this standard variation, or standard starting flowing movement, to allow us to transition to shaking. I'll do 2 more repetitions. And 1 more repetition. And allow the hands to flow down. Arms hang by the side, noticing how you feel. If you need to reposition, checking with your feet, how they connect to the ground, checking with your neck, your joints, what feels good. And we're going to transition to shaking, also known as shake the tree, cooking chi, just where we just shake, vibrate, just release, and we'll incorporate some breathing breaths too. So let's begin. You can just jump right into it if that feels good. I'll start slowly with just shaking the hands. And then that shaking move into the rest of my body. Into the arms, into the head, into the shoulders, into the torso, hips, the legs. Shake the sleeve down. You can go from as light or as intense as you like, whatever feels good. Do this shaking for a couple of minutes. Shaking is a great way just to relieve stress. Stress is stored in the body. Movement and exercise, even gentle exercise, helps release stress. So what would feel good in shaking? Would you like to pump your heels, jump up and down, turn at the waist and shake? Shake out your legs. What would feel good in this moment? And we'll take a moment to do blithering breaths. Blithering breaths is where we take an opportunity as we're shaking to release stress. Through the breath, we can make a sound. Could be a sigh, could be a yawn. Whatever feels good for you. We're going to do 3 blithering breaths. So when I say inhale, take a deep breath. On exhale, let out what sound, breath feels good for you. So let's go. Inhale. All right, let's do 2 more. Inhale. And 1 more. Inhale. All right, and there's a sequence to finish off this shaking practice. You can follow along. Bring the hands out to the sides. Let's bring the hands overhead, reaching up to the sky. Let's bring the hands out in front of the body, reaching ahead. Let's bring the hands behind the body if that's available. Let's bring the hands out to the side, fingers pointing down, connecting to the earth, the ground. And if it's available to you, so you can bend knees and hips. You can get close to the ground if that feels comfortable. And for the next 30 seconds, just shake however you like to shake. Could be dog wagging his tail. Could be a high vibration shake. Or something really gentle and slow as you let this shaking practice come to a close. So in 15 seconds, close this shaking practice. So you can just begin to slow down if you haven't already. You can pause the shaking, and if it's available to you, see how it feels to turn inward. You can connect with sensations, energy, whatever feels good in this moment. Or if that's not available to you, check in with your environment, check in with your senses. Taste, touch, sight, sound, your external, what allows you to connect with the external environment. But if you're able to connect with your internal environment, check in there. If you'd like to bring hands to any part of your body that feels good, do that too. This is just a moment to pause, to check in with the movement, that energy, moving around. Just take an opportunity to connect with yourself. Qigong is an opportunity to listen, to connect with your energy, to slow down, to take a break from the to-do, to support yourself. I believe the saying is, where the mind goes, the chi flows. So just taking that opportunity to bring your attention to here, yourself, and listening, supporting, and honoring yourself. All right. So sliding is this floor off, and we'll move into the second half of class. The second half of class is going to consist of a light moment to engage in tapping, but really more actually like a light tracing over the body. Then we'll move into a couple stretching exercises and then flowing movements. And after that, daily meditation. So thanks again for checking this out. As always, this is your practice. Take time, take breaks, modify movements, do what feels good for you. So let's begin. Do some tapping, but really most of this practice actually won't be tapping. It'll be tracing over the body. I'm just going to tap the chest, but the rest of the tapping exercises will really be tracing. So you can follow along, do what feels good. So I'm going to start with tapping the chest. In the areas I'll be doing this massage will be the chest, the abdomen, the arms and the legs. So just tapping the chest, noticing how that feels. And we're now going to move into the rest of the body. So we're actually going to extend the right hand out. And now we're going to move into tracing. So what we're going to do is imagine that you can just trace down the inside of the right arm, trace over the hand, trace up the outside of the arm, noticing how that feels. If you want, you can make this a massage and actually rub down the hand. But I'm just tracing, doing what feels good for you. I'm going to do this for a total of 3 times on this arm, and then I'm going to transition, go up and down the left arm. Noticing how that feels, notice if you sense energy. So now it's going to be the other side. Tracing down the left arm with the right hand. For a total of 3 times. And we're just going to bring hands over the abdomen, and you can interlock the hands or just whatever feels good. I'm just going to do 9 circles in one direction, and then reverse that and do 9 circles in the other. Noticing how that feels. Reversing the movement, 9 circles in the other direction. Alright, let's bring your hands to the center of the abdomen. Now we're going to bring our hands to the lower back. And you can check in with the lower back or the kidneys. And if you'd like, just do a light massage, just rubbing, circling, if that's available to you. Or you can use light fists and do that too, tapping if you want to engage in that. But now what we're going to transition to is tracing down the back of the legs. And tracing up the inner legs. And we're going to do this for 2 more times, for a total of 3 times. So just like you trace down your arms, tracing down the back of the legs, trace up the feet, up the inner legs. 1 more time. Noticing what you sense, noticing what you feel. And you can trace or apply gentle pressure. There we go. And let's just take an opportunity to just honor that little practice of checking in, connecting with ourselves. We're going to move into some stretching. So I like to do exercises that warm up and stretch the spine. I do have a couple of variations. I like doing knocking on the temple gong or knocking on the door of life. We'll transition to that. What we're going to start off with checking with our feet, shoulder width apart, making sure you have space to just extend the hands out. What we're going to do is bring the hands up, imagine that like we're a cactus, and we're going to just turn at the waist. Getting a little stretch in the spine. Do one more pass for each side, and then we'll transition to knocking on the temple gong. So allowing the hands to just flow down. We'll just move into that. So turning at the waist, allowing the hands to tap the lower abdomen, the lower back. We'll do this for a few passes. Just trying to mix it up with the exercises for the spine. Let's do a few more passes. Let's say 2 more for each side. Or 4 total hits or taps to the body. And then you can just allow the hands to just flow off. Imagine that the hands are moving through water. This is called water waves. What do you sense? What do you feel? And we'll just slow this movement down. And we'll return to center. And we can allow the hands to just flow down. All right. We're going to transition to just exercise to get in some stretches in the side body. So what we'll do is we're going to allow the right hand to just flow up. And we will allow the right hand to just float to the left side so we can stretch the right side of the body. Again, do what feels comfortable for you. And we'll return upright, allow the right hand to flow down. Left hand will flow up. We'll just do the alternate. Left hand stretch to the right side. Feel the stretch on the left side of the body. Do what feels comfortable for you. And returning upright, allowing left hand to flow down. And we'll just do one more stretch to each side of the body. Going at your own pace and speed. So for me, the right hand comes up. Feel a stretch. Can allow the left hand to hang. Turn upright, allow right hand to flow down. Left hand floats up. Left hand floats to the right. Right hand drops. Feel the stretch. Turn upright, head over spine. Left hand flows down. All right. There we go. Let's move into some flowing movements. All right. I like starting off with a movement I haven't done in a while, but a movement that I very much enjoy doing. It is called Firefly in the Lantern. It kind of looks like cloud hands for those who know cloud hands, but that's okay. Let's begin. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift our weight to our right foot. We're going to bring up the right hand, palm about waist height. And we're going to bring up the left hand over the palm. We're just going to imagine that we're holding a lantern right here. And what we're going to do, because this movement involves turning at the waist, and the hands follow that turn, is we're going to turn at the waist. And we're shifting the weight from the right side to the left side. And when the hands are over to the left side, we're going to switch the position of the hands. So left hand drops, right hand comes up, holding the lantern. We're just going to do the movement over to the right side. And you can go at your own pace and speed. If you're looking for a breathing pattern, you can inhale one direction, exhale to the other. Just imagining that you're holding a lantern in your hand. You're guiding it from one side of your body to the other. This allows us to bring our attention awareness into this moment. And as always, modify the movement for your comfort. Honoring your body, honoring how you'd like to move. Let's do a few more passes. 2 more passes for each side. And we'll do 1 more pass for each side. And the movement ends when we find ourselves returning to the right side. When the hands make it over to the right side, you can just allow the hands to just flow down. Noticing how that feels. If you like, you can wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Notice how that feels, checking in with the now. We'll move into the next gesture. And you can follow along. This requires some gentle movement. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take in a deep breath. And just exhale. And we'll just move into the movement of prayer wheel. So what we're going to do is turn our right foot facing towards the right side. Left foot is at a right angle, or more than a 45-degree angle. Whatever feels comfortable for you. What happens in this movement is we're going to bring our hands out to the chest. And we're going to shift the weight into the back foot, which is the left foot in this case. And we're going to exhale. Drop the hands down. Shift forward into the right foot. Then inhale. Draw the hands in, shift to the back foot. Exhale, shift forward. Inhale, draw the hands in. Takes a little bit of coordination. So take your time with the movement. So you're inhaling as you're drawing the hands in towards the body and shifting back. Exhaling as the hands move out, shifting forward. Notice if you sense anything between your hands. Noticing where your attention and your awareness is. We're going to do this for 2 more repetitions, then we'll switch to the side. And this will be my last repetition on this side. And let's allow the hands to drop. And I'll switch the position. So we'll turn to the other side. So left foot is now pointing out to the left side. Right foot is now at a 45-degree angle. You want to be in a position that allows you to shift forward and backwards in a comfortable way. Here we go. So we're just going to exhale, drop, shift forward as the hands go out. Inhale, draw the hands in, shifting the weight to the back foot. Exhale, hands come out. Inhale, draw the hands in. Noticing what you feel, noticing what you sense. Let's do a few more repetitions of this movement. Noticing what you're connecting with right now. Noticing where your awareness is. This will be my last repetition. Let's do another circle. And when you find yourself on the last repetition, drawing the hands in towards the chest and shifting the weight back, you can just allow the hands to flow down. Return to that starting position, feet facing forward, weight equally distributed between both feet. Noticing how that feels and what you sense right now. We're going to transition to a gesture taken from the 8 Blockades, really popular set of movements that have been practiced for thousands of years. I like the separating heaven and earth exercise. I like to add a twist of making it a balance gesture, but that is optional. So let's begin. Let's bring our hands up, connecting with the heart, palms facing to each other. And what do you connect with in this moment? You can inhale, feel lungs expand, exhale, let out the breath. And let's begin this movement. So we're going to let the left hand drop, and the right hand flows up. Palm faces up towards the sky for the right hand. Fingers can point towards the left side. And for the left hand, fingers are pointing forward, if that feels comfortable for you. Again, there's always the option of taking care of yourself, listening to what feels good in your body. And what we're going to do is bring the hands in, back towards the center, towards the heart. We're going to switch the position of the arms. So now the right hand drops, the left hand faces up towards the sky. We're going to add breathing in a moment. So bring the hands towards the center. Right hand presses up, left hand drops down. Separating heaven and earth, but with the right hand you're connecting to the sky, the left hand you're connecting with the ground. You're just alternating between that. Noticing how that feels. And a variation you can engage in if it feels comfortable for you. It's making this a balance act. We'll do that in just a moment. You know, I've got to add in the breathing. So as you're bringing the hands in, you can inhale as you're drawing the hands in towards the center. Exhale as you're separating the hands apart. And I'll go in the balancing. So as you're bringing in the hands together. As the left hand goes up, trot up the right leg. Make that a balance. If that feels good, if that's available. Then we're going to switch. Bring in balance practice. Allows us to be more present. Takes a little bit more concentration and awareness. I'll only do a couple more passes with the balance variation. I'll do one more repetition for each side. So you can bring both hands to center. Noticing what you sense, noticing what you feel. Palms are facing each other. Fingers are facing each other with a little space in between. What do you sense? What do you connect with in this moment? And let's allow the hands to flow down. We're going to transition to a gesture that I've learned from Lee Holden called Kuan Yin Draws a Rainbow, also known as Kuan Yin Paints a Rainbow. So to do this movement, we're just going to bring both hands allowing to float up to about solar plexus height. Hands are out in front of the body. And we're now going to turn the right hand, palm faces up, And I'll get a little bit closer. We're going to inhale, draw the hand up, and round back to whatever feels good, circling the arm. We're going to inhale, draw both hands up, two up, chest height. Flip the right hand over, exhale out and float down. Now we're going to do this movement on the left side. So we're going to inhale, left hand up and around. Inhale, both hands up. Flip the left hand down. And now we're going to go back to the right hand. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, out and around. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, both hands down. Transition to the left hand. Into the right hand. Do one more repetition for the right hand, one more repetition for the left. And this will be the last repetition. And it's for left hand. Flip both hands over, exhale, and allow both hands to just flow down and just hang by the sides. Noticing what you sense, noticing what you feel. Almost at the end of the practice, we've got a couple more exercises or a couple more gestures, and then the standing meditation. So we'll take that opportunity to do that. So just again, checking with how you feel in the moment, what you're noticing. We'll just do a couple more gestures, allowing us to be here to flow in this moment. Step back just a little bit and just center back into the picture. So we're going to do a flowing movement. I always like doing the rowing movement. There's many variations to that movement. I think that's an exercise I generally like doing, but we'll incorporate a variety of ways to do this movement. So with rowing, we're going to allow our hands to just float down, start off from the side. We're going to inhale the hands up, out to the side. Draw the hands to the center. Exhale, allow the hands to float down. So inhale, draw the hands up, bring the hands over, and exhale. If you want to incorporate more movement, you can rise up, bring the hands to center, sink. There's more openness in your shoulder joint. You can really open the arms and really sink. Imagining that you're moving oars in your hand. Let's do 3 more repetitions. Inhale the hands up. Exhale the hands out in front, down. And one more repetition. All right. Let's just do one more gesture before we move into that standing meditation. And the gesture I like to do is just flowing is the integration gesture, also known as centering. So we can bring the hands by the dantian, the lower abdomen, one on top of the other. And I'm having the right hand over the left hand. And we're just going to allow the left hand to flow out Inhale it up. The circles around, up towards the sky. Fingers point up. Exhale. The hand down, the central line. Draws down. On top of the right hand. And now the right hand will swing out. Inhale up. And around, overhead. Exhale the hand down. Center line. Let's do one more pass for each hand. And let's just take a minute to do a standing meditation. Just a minute. Just we allow the hands to just flow down. And I like doing the stand like a tree, embrace the tree. So to do that, with both our hands just hanging loose, we're going to imagine that there's a string lifting up the wrists, drawing them up towards the sky, about shoulder height. The hands are facing about the same area. Palms are facing towards ourselves. Fingers are pointing towards each other. Imagine that your arms are just around, hugging, embracing a tree. Elbows are dropped. Shoulders are soft. And we're going to hold this position for a minute. We're going to just at the end of class. But let's just get in a standing meditation. Standing meditation is foundational practice in Qigong. Great way to end the practice. We'll just do this for another 40 seconds. Noticing where your awareness is, your attention, what you're connecting to in this moment. Checking in with the joints, making sure there's softness. Let's do this for 10 more seconds. And let's begin to close this practice. We're going to allow the palms to face down. Exhale, on the hands to flow down. And we're going to close this practice. So we're now going to engage in clearing, gathering, the heavens practice. So we're going to inhale both hands out to the side. Let's bring the left foot to the right. So as the hands make it overhead, shower yourself. Allow the hands to flow down from the body. Take whatever you need from this class. Let's do this 2 more times without moving the legs. So palms facing up. Inhale the hands up and over. Turn the palms towards yourself and exhale. Take in whatever feels good for you. Any support, light, energy, healing. Do this one more time. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Shower yourself with that goodness. Whatever would support you in this moment. And to completely close this class, we'll connect yin and yang. And this part of class, I'll not be mirroring you. So you can bring up your right hand and form a soft fist. And the right hand is going to represent yang energy, energy of the day, action. I'm going to bring up the left hand. Palm is open, facing up towards the sky. And the left hand is going to represent yin energy, energy of the nighttime, the moon, relaxation. And we're going to bring both hands together into the center by the heart. Left hand over right. And let's take an opportunity to bow to ourselves for engaging in this ancient Chinese energy practice, practiced thousands of years for self-care, healing, and wellness. And take an opportunity for connecting and sharing this practice with all those who are participating. So I want to thank you. Proud to know those who are participating and sharing their energy. And as always, I want to thank Toivo, Valley Qigong, and all the teachers, specifically Darren Drum, who allowed me to share this practice, share it with you. Hope you have been gaining and getting a lot out of this, allowing you to support yourself, connect, release stress, and, live that good life, or wherever you need in this moment. Thank you again. Till next time, know that Toivo has a lot of good Qigong, Tai Chi classes happening this month. Check out the calendar, a lot of good things happening. Till next time, wishing you well, take care, and be well.